Welcome back to Open Up with Malindi. The conversation is shoo. We are talking all things young lion and the pressures that they go through. Men of God, I just want to know, Uguti, ni baning abo young lion, ni handsome, you know, some are working, some are not. Ama daughters of Zion maningi, mahle Jehovah. Futhi laba bababheka manje ngiyakutshela ukuthi bakwenye level. Don't you find yourself as my young lions pursuing the same girl?
I think ukhohlele ukuthi itemple limile. Jesus. No, definitely. You get to a point where you meet somebody and you think, look, this is the one. I was saying to a friend of mine this week, Uguti, I think 5 years ago I was ready to get married.
5 years ago?
5 years ago.
Okay.
Ready to get married. I was with a lady, but due to, like I said, the dynamics of life, where I'm wrong, she's wrong, and at the end of the day, we just agreed to, you know. So yes, definitely, amongst yourselves, because at the end of the day, now our daughters of Zion are not genuine and they don't tell you the truth. Sometimes it's even your own friends, you know. And because you don't want to expose too early. Is gone to say, so you just rather keep it as a secret until the day ushongayo. And then while you are in this process of still trying to find out show by corner, can be somewhere. So your challenges
Are those relationships repairable amongst yourselves as preachers?
I've come to realize that yes. There were a lot of people I fought with regarding relationships that were my friends. And we have a lot of disagreements, but today we are probably the bestest of friends. Wow. I think it's turning on your own spaces. Do you guys actually talk about how it happened and what happened between the two of you? Because at the end of the day, as much as we think ladies are also genuine, but they are also those abazengoptots, you know, who come. Kunentombazana angitshela straight that ifuna ukusicabanisa and yasicabanisa vele, you know. So
like straight to your face.
Straight to my face, and she said lalela la ngifuna ungitshela.
She's a
khona ngimfunayo and
talking spirit.
Yebo, khona ngimfunayo and njengoba ngibhizi nawo so. And lo ngimfunayo, ngifuna ukukhomba ukuthi ukhohlakela akakuthandi lo muntu lo. Ngifuna ukukhiphela information. Why I want to keep information ngalo but lo. And there were voice notes, there were texts. In this case, once a lady has set her mind and at being utsotsi, she has set her mind at being utsotsi. You can't do anything on it. So, mina, as I grew up, I've come to understand at the end of the day, siyakula and a kulen wait. I think I'm grateful for growth in general, because if I did not grow up,
I want us to get to into my finances, because we touched on it earlier. But before that, ngifuna ukubuza ukuthi now kuyo yonke le process, do you call each other to order? Because you already have a story to tell based on your experience and your past. And when you see another young person or a young preacher or a young pastor doing the very thing that you did, do you go to that person, call them to order, and share what you've been through with them?
I will not lie to you. I mean, as I grew up, I've sort of understood kunabantu abangafuna confront.
Okay.
And I'm slowly learning ukuthi kunabantu engeke ngama confront as much as they are messing up, as much as they are making mistakes. I will never call them out. But in my close circle of friends, and case being, example, because I'm close to these two, we do sit down and we talk. If there's something they don't like about me, we talk and say, no, right. angithanda indlela okhulume nami ngayo or angithanda indlela oyenza ngayo izinto emhlabeni. You know, if you don't call each other out, then it sort of paints a bad picture, because we are a circle of friends, and as English says, birds of the same feathers flock together.
Yes.
So if a prince decides ukuthi yena uyoba na 3 yama partners, then it reflects on Bet Shemesh, it reflects on Mahlangu as well. Angazi ngenza sense. So here in this case, you need to be honest with yourself and say, look, gents, kunala ngibhizi khona, kunala ngibhizi khona, and if ngiyabheda ngitshele, and bakutshele nabo ukuthi no ubheda la ntwana, why una 2 yabantu? Because at some point in my mind, I need to say this because it also happens to most men. You date 4 different people who have 4 different traits but cover each other out to make one person.
Okay.
So low is spiritual giant, low emotional giant, lona u financial whatever, low uyamthanda personality wise. That's one person if you listen to it. You are looking for one person, but you found that one person in 4 different people.
Okay.
So if no one decides to call you out and say Ntwana, no, awazi utshola na 4 yabantu, decide ukuthi kule 4 ubani one majority uhlale naye and try and focus there. Then you are in trouble, because then your whole life, even after marriage, you are going to try and make and compensate things that you should not be compensating for, things that you should understand about your partner. I've been told ukuthi mangikwatile angikwazi ukukhuluma, right? So if my wife does or my girlfriend does not like the way ngikhuluma ngakhona, she can find somebody okhuluma kamnandi makakwatile. So don't ever make the mistake of thinking ukuthi wena njengoba ucompensate so bona ngeke bayenze the same to you.
Sure.
Simple.
Now let's go back to the ndaba yama finances, because I think it is the main cause to finding yourselves in these relationships.
Sure.
What is the way out? What should one do as a young minister preaching the gospel of God to actually improve the area of finances?
Sure. I have so much to say about that. I spend a lot of time with Amadota Strong area now.
Okay.
I think generally I've always had a bad system for money. So bengithola imali iphume because I didn't know how to maintain money with me. Kunabantu abanenhlanhla yemali nanoma ngasebenzi, but imali unembobo ezandleni, imali yafika imali iphume. So I always say, once you have a good system for money, money will never leave your life. So when I got a job, like you were asking, Guti, what should you do from here? Just make sure your systems are in place.
Okay.
When I started working, imali yangithola ngithanda izinto. So I bought all the suits I could think of, bought all the shirts I liked, but endlini bebalamba.
Sure.
You understand? So you find sometimes our priorities are not in order. So you need to make sure that when you have good systems, imali mayifika ikuthola right unengcondo. So when even there are people who come into the church just to fund the church, but you must never make the mistake. And I mean, I've been taught this good. Nanoma bangatithe 2 million, you can't take 2 million home. You need a salary in the church.
Yes.
You know, get yourself paid in the church, and then lenye mala I maintain in the church.
Yes.
So the challenge with Young Lions General will be always one. We are mishandling money.
Sure.
When money comes in, we think we want to entertain basically. We want to entertain friends. We want to make sure we look the part when we go to certain environments. I've come to accept the person I've become. There are a lot of pressures I had getting into ministry. I thought ministry was suits. I thought ministry was dressing up well, speaking as a particular way. And I've come to realize that my weaknesses make me who I am. I was always judged for being the way ngigcoka ngayo manje, because I mean, umfundisi akagcoki chain, akabi casual, umfundisi man akabe nale order, you know. So I was telling somebody, angibiza Bishop Cool, ngithi mina, I'd rather be myself, preach comfortably, than wear a suit and be uncomfortable and not preach well.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, I think we must make sure that we know what we want, so that when these things start coming into our lives, we don't find ourselves losing ourselves. Because money has the same effect, that when it comes into your life, if it tolungana balance, izokususa la kumele ume khona. Period.
I remember I went to a seminar not so long ago where this man was talking to different ministers, Fivefold Ministry, and he was saying most of the marriages zabafundisi were never real. They were never based on love and the purpose of God.
Yes.
But it was about financial stability, because abafundisi went for women abasebenza esikole so that can fund their lifestyles. And today, every time a young lion gets married, especially to a lady who works, Gutiwa, he's doing it for financial gain or financial stability and all of that. Is that true or false or partially true? Because I am yet to hear about a young lion that gets married and there's no financial whatever, that financial noise that follows that young person.
Again, I will maintain, if it's for love, why not? If umuntu wakho mina, I've personally decided angizamfuna umuntu onemali. That's my decision. We'd rather build together. I told imali sekanami, because I've realized a trend that nami yangibamba ukuthi vele once we are in a space where we lack, you start dating a person osebenza kahle so that they can find your lifestyle yakho. And again, when you don't have pressures, you don't need to perform. I go to gala dinners now wearing jeans. If you don't like it, it's up to you. As long as I look good, and you'd find most of the time, and I did this recently. I attended a gala dinner somewhere in Rustenburg, and I was dressed better than half the people who were there. Casual. Not casual per se in terms of but you dress semi-casual and it looks good. So the pressure yet comes from suit, likes. I want to trend on social media. Then you start having financial expectations. Then you start dating somebody because you want to fund your lifestyle. I'm okay with the fact that I don't have any pressure. And I'm not gonna now date somebody who has a car to maintain my lifestyle.
Sure.
So yes, it's partially true. I will say it's partially true. Kone bashateli mali, kone bashateli tando, but imali kon. So I think as a minister, be honest with yourself. At the end of the day,
Yes.
I think that's my biggest fear. I think the reason why I'm still not married at the age of 30 today is I'm looking at myself and I'm thinking, because I'm who I am. When it's time to address serious things, I think they don't even take me seriously, because singakhuluma into serious mina ngiyikhulume ngiqede while I have a smile on my face.
Sure.
But if you don't have somebody who understands you, and I think, I'm spending a lot of time with people who are married, I'm sort of seeing the different legs and different vicissitudes or dynamics that people have. Uguti, a challenge it will always be one thing. We are not compatible.
Sure.
Sishata abantu for a ministry, powerful, uyashumayela, uyacula, uyathandaza kamnandi. But nobody actually wants to sit down and examine ukuthi lo sisi lo mangamthatha ngiyohlala naye ekhaya. Will she understand ukuthi I don't have the money to take her home into her own home now? Will she understand ukuthi kwamanje I'm in a back room, but definitely khona la siya somewhere khona?
Sure.
Will I be able to sit her down and make her understand ukuthi as much as I look like a millionaire now, I've got 3 million in my account, I can't use it now because kunemali kumele something kumele uyenza later. Because sometimes we think just because something ikhona, we need to do it now. You understand? I can have a car now, but doesn't mean I need to go somewhere now. Sense. So sometimes we do have the money, but I'm waiting for a certain switch from you. Ukuthi ngangayithola leyo nto ngihlala ngibiza abangani bamayazi kunale qha engilindile kangathi qha, you will know, and I will tell you ukuthi sengiyizwile lento engiyifunayo kuwe, and and it's not a sexual thing. It's definitely not a sexual thing. It's a purpose thing. Once I can sit down with you and have fun with you, once I can sit down with you and I made the same joke ngenza in interview, ukuthi once I can sit with you sihlebe as a couple, sihleke kamnandi kwangathi asisindiswanga, then you are okay to get married. You are ready to get. Inkinga yethu is we want to take Bishop home and take him home immediately. Can't work. Not for me.
Sure. Guys, Gushushu, I'm just enjoying this interview, and we will be right back. Welcome back to Open Up with Malindi. I'm with Bishop Prince here. We're talking all things young lions and their pressure. You know, before the break, we were talking about marriage and the pressure of getting married, especially for financial gain. And he has explained how important it is. And he just went into something that I wanted to ask him, that do people get married for purpose? Or do people actually get married for money? Because we find most of them getting married for financial gain. And according to your experience, I know that you're not married, you've never been married, but your observation, does the marriage that is influenced by financial gain work?
Again, asibuyele nepointi nami lokuqala. I think lelo sangabamba leyo ndaba lesihambile elifini. Indaba isekuthenini ungenele ini. Once wangangenela leyo, if for an example I go in for the money, then when the money is not there, ngizohamba.
Okay.
So the reason why I've sat with a lot of pastors and generally married people. What does not work is ngingenela ubuhle bakho. And then pray to tell something bad happens. Uthole car accident, awusesemuhle.
Yo.
Then I'm out. Because lento engayingenela iseko.
Yes.
Or even a slight thing like and your body changes and all of a sudden I'm not attracted to you. So I think that's why we get into it for all the wrong reasons.
Sure.
As we start. But if you got in for the love, then nanoma umzimba wami soshintshile, azange wathanda umzimba wami, wathanda mina. You know? And again, purpose. Once purpose dies out, and I don't think it does. I don't think you ever reach a point in life where purpose is as a destination, but it's something that you continually pursue. So that means you can't then get to a point where no sahlukanisa ukuthi purpose beyiphelile, you know. So you can't get to that point. So it's as simple as get married to somebody who has the same purpose as you. Get married to a person that you actually love. And zonke lezo zinto uyifunda akekho umuntu ozoshintsha ngoba sesishadile.
Yes.
Once we are dating and we're getting to know each other, lento engiyiyo lapho, lento engizoba yiyo, futhi sometimes even exaggerated, ngizoba worse mangifika ngale. You know. So for me now, I believe in a thing that says we need to start being honest as izinceku to saying, are you getting married for the money? Are you getting married for the beauty? Are you getting married for the pressure? Because
sure.
Sometimes nesikhathi. I was preaching Kamfundisi Mahlangu last week. Not there. I think Bengamkonza, and I was saying, have you ever felt like age yako ilesa screen less advertiser uve ngathi yakukhumbuza 30, you know?
Yes.
That it's just a reminder to say isikhathi siyahamba.
Yeah.
I'm 30 years kule age ngiyokunabantu abana 2-3 abantwana.
Yeah.
And when you get home and they are like to you, vele, you know, my grandmother was one of the funniest people because yena bekangadlali bekayisha straight at of uyigena. You know, because at some point kumele kuqale kuvele impawu zokuthi uyakhula according to them. So yes, I will always go back to this good asishadeleni into is right so that we don't become a part of the statistics that are happening with is divorce in the church now. I feel divorce is too much now.
It's too much.
We can't be part of those people who are gonna get married to divorce. Mina ishem ngikhethele nje ukuthi ngiyarefusa ukuba part of the statistic.
Kwaze kwamnandi with the bishop. Kwangathi singaqhubeka, but time is not on our side. There is a young person be it a young lion, be it a daughter of Zion, even an older person that is watching this interview now, who's just going through so much pressure, age, wanting to get married, abosisa bahle, and all of that. There's purpose, there's everything. How, or rather, what would you say to a person who feels the pressure of getting married, of growing the ministry, of doing so much, and they are just feeling, you know what, I just cannot do this thing anymore, and I'm just tired, and let me just get married to any person so that no person asks me about marriage, or rather, let me just, you know, find a way to grow myself, you know, and somebody else has been through what you've been through, and they feel they have been judged by the church people, and they don't know where to go, what to do. What would you say to that person?
Angazi asivale kahle spiritually. But for me, I'll start off by being realistic and saying, uyazazi unjani mawuhleli uyi-one. So don't then pursue somebody if you have not fixed self. Into ebalulekile ukuthi don't ungayomosha impilo yomunye umntwana ungaka-decide ukuthi ufunani.
Okay.
It's a mistake commonly we make because we try to grow ngabantu. We use people as leaders. And sometimes you must actually push yourself to a certain level. And then kunama mistakes esingawa tolerate kuma relationships, kunama mistake that we should not be tolerating. It's things that you should have dealt with usase one. You know, I believe in things like low self-esteem should be dealt with usase one. And I believe in kunezinto man ama traits that are toxic that you should have dealt with usase one. Okay, angikwazi ukukhuluma ngoprince. How do I fix that? Sure. So that when I get to the public, I at least look like I'm dealing with that particular thing. And again, spiritually, I'll always say my belief and my core will always be this. He has made us in his image. So therefore, we must know that identity first before any other thing. Before uNkulunkulu asibusisa ngako konke, he looks for identity. Where are you standing? That's why most verses will usually start with, he created us in his image. And it says somewhere else that you must believe that he is identity and he will diligently reward you. So never want to be rewarded, but you don't have an identity. Seek ye first the kingdom, and all these things will be added unto you. I believe in a God that will never give us things that will kill us. I believe in a God that will never give you R1 million when you still have pride.
Sure.
You know, because sometimes we are preaching such a pressurous message that says God will give you. But before he gives you, do you actually have the character to hold it? Do you have the bucket that can hold it? Because if you don't have the bucket that can hold it, the very thing that God has given you will be the very thing that will destroy you.
Sure.
Some of us, our marriages are the very reason why we turned away from God. Some of us, imali is the reason why we changed our mind on God. So my message will always remain the same. Identity first. Identity first before any other thing in life.
Wow. Great stuff. Open up with Malindi. Thank you so much, Bishop, for opening up today. I know it's not easy, but you're being real, and we truly appreciate it. Guys, we truly appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Please do not forget to subscribe, to share, and to like, and to comment. God bless you. Until next time.